Welcome one, welcome all to the delayed but finally arrived showing of CCG Esports as they try and make a run at the NACL. It's Open Qualifiers Swiss Stage number 2 of 2024, and you've got the all-star caster crew to take you guys through some events that already happened, but if you haven't been cheating and looking at a certain Discord, you'll get to find out just as we will. It's CCG Esports, number 3 seed, I believe, taking on Zora Esports, number 29 or 30. Here's why. This is why Quacks is here. He's the smart brain of our casting duo here, Quacks. So tell me, what you're expecting just from this matchup, from the stacked CCG roster we're getting on one side.
I mean, I feel like stacked would be an understatement for the CCG roster, right? You have Crimson and Trevor, who both stayed and made a really impressive run on CCG in the Open Qualifiers number 1, getting knocked out by Winthrop 2-0, and have replaced them with a ton of talent, right? You have players like Yukino, who hasn't played for a really long time, along with their mid laner, who in this series and this weekend is unfortunately not going to be Bradley. They brought back Flocon, who I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, who was the CCG mid laner in OQ1, who also showed a lot of colors. He is, basically a rookie, just started dipping his toes in the water of tier 3 and had a really impressive showing on more niche kind of picks, things like the Akali, like the Vladimir. He showed a lot of colors in OQ1. That's exactly what I'm expecting here in this matchup. I think that this mid-jungle duo is something we're going to have to look really heavily at here for CCG, because it's an incredibly talented duo. I think that they have a lot to show. They're two prospects that a lot of people are looking at, and I think that they are going to be the thing that is going to be played for here in this game.
Well, Quacks, no time to really mess around here. On the other side, you obviously have Zora Esports, which is a team of a lot of names that people are still trying to get familiar with on the number 30 seed side, but got to shout out their coach/manager, Sean Tonin. Big time fan of that guy. So, without further ado, as much as we'd like to talk more about the teams here, obviously we are a bit late to where we wanted to be here with the game and with the draft. So here's how things are going to go, folks. I'm going to throw us on over. This is the completed draft you're going to get a look at from both of these sides here. Yeah, so you've got the CCG on the blue side, Zora Esports on the red side, and Quacks. A lot of question marks I'm sure the viewers have looking at this one. So try and explain to me exactly what one certain side is cooking here.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at CCG and Zora Esports, you might be a little bit confused on where some of these picks are going. Luckily, like you said, Slayer, we are going to have to move a little bit fast, so we already know where these players are going, what the champions are going to be playing in terms of their roles. So right out of the gate, very interesting support positions from both teams. I really am interested to see Trevor on this Camille pick in particular. This is something that has gained a little bit of steam, particularly around Europe, where some supports are going Camille support with Ignite into Halo Blades. Essentially, this just falls under the realm of trying to win your lane outright. It's very similar to another strategy that a lot of supports are using, where you go Doran's Blade or an aggressive item other than the original support item that you would normally go, and just try to stat check the lane with your item and damage advantage. I think Camille support is similar in that realm, but you don't have to go D-Blade. As you can see, they're probably just going to go that support item. And Zora on the other side with the Vayne support along with the Smolder. So a lot of peel with that Condemn being there just to get the Camille off of Smolder, trying to get them off of the backline later on in the game. Has a lot of different uses. But the other champions in particular, the other picks in particular for all the teams are interesting as well. You have Olaf top for Crimson. This is a champion that he's familiar on. I really like that CCG are able to give Crimson this avenue to play champions he's more familiar with, instead of just sticking him on something like tank duty, because Crimson is, by all definition of the word, a carry top laner who wants to play carry picks.
Yeah, and he'll certainly look to show out here. And without further ado, I mean, there's enough teasing about it here. We can get right into this game here as I try to get things set up. If it's not obvious, I'm also running producer, so you're getting the Slayer special. But just like that, we are in to game number 1 here. You got CCG on your blue side, Zora Esports on the red side, and right out the gate, we can see no double Dornan's items, despite the weird support picks there, Quacks.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by this. I think maybe both players on the support role are just anticipating that their champion does enough damage outright in order to get the job done so they don't have to sack that gold early on in the game. As yeah, you can see CCG trying to get a little frisky, trying to see if they can get any information early on. But yeah, this is exactly what I expect from CCG. Try and be as aggressive as possible. Put the Smolder behind, so that way you can focus your efforts up toward this mid lane with Yukino and Flocon.
Yeah, they're sporting some intriguing names there, Quacks, but that is, in fact, Yukino and Flocon there, as we already see level 1 shenanigans with an Olaf. You know, if you had a tier list champions that you don't want to mess with level 1 in the top lane, I'm pretty sure Darius and Olaf would be a close tie for first.
Oh yeah, especially with that Flash Ghost. I feel like this is not a lane that Marion wants to mess with. He just wants to farm, make sure that he can survive the laning phase. I have a feeling that's why he decided to opt for the Phase Rush Keystone, and just make sure Olaf can't get snowballed ahead.
You already see Trevor also pulling out the tech with the hook shot there, trying to get right on top, get some damage down. And yeah, I mean, this is certainly one of those games where you're like, hey, wow, Season 14 really is different. And as me, sitting here as a caster, I'm like, what are some of these lanes going to look like? Because not in a million years was I expecting Kai'Sa, Camille, Vayne, and then, well, Smolder is a bit of an outlier. All in one lane together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, freak season, as some of them would say. But yeah, I mean, both junglers, you can tell, especially Judy on that... on the Jarvan is really looking to just hover around this bot lane. And honestly, that is the correct play. You want to make sure that the Smolder can get to the famed 225 stacks. Make sure that Mr. Fake Carry can be as real of a carry as possible as the game continues. And yeah, it just seems like that's what he's doing based on his pathing.
Another good hook shot going to come across here. Get some good damage down. We do see both jugglers are opting for their full clears.
It looks like Crimson just continuing to bully out Marion. I really have no idea how this lane is supposed to go, but I have a feeling that Marion is just going to continue trying to farm under this turret, make sure that he can absorb as much pressure from Crimson as possible, while also making sure that Crimson doesn't get that amount of gold. And Crimson, you know, I think Crimson kind of anticipated that this lane would be at the slower pace that Gragas wants to dictate it at. He, you know, goes for the Doran shield, tries to play defensive, tries to get as much poke as possible, but I think he knows he's not going to be able to kill this fat man early on in the game.
Certainly should not be able to, right? That's what you expect in this matchup. So you see the both jugglers went for those full clears so far. See a path up here coming across from Yukino. Looking to try and get a gank on Marios. A lot of pings coming across there mid lane. A lot of good poke from Flocon, but here comes the gank. Crimson just ate the entire combo. Marios has no mana, waiting on cooldowns. Does have flash available. He's going to flash towards the blue side, but a great piercing strike does grab the slow. Both players are over the wall. Just one fleeting axe for the slow, and Crimson, the valiant team player, will give first blood over to his jungler. Yukino slams it home.
Yeah, Yukino now basically finishing the full clear will be able to back with a decent gold advantage over Kahudi on this Jarvan, who's now just completing his full clear. So yeah, this Xin Zhao early on, this is really when the champion wants to get as many kills as humanly possible. And I really respect Crimson for giving that one over, making sure that this Titanic Hydra can come in as soon as possible for Yukino, so that getting those objectives like the grubs is as seamless as possible here for CCG.
Yeah, you know, I know you were talking about, Quacks and I were talking about when it comes to which junglers like to go one grub, which can take grubs pretty quickly. I feel like Xin Zhao, part of the reason why he's pretty prevalent meta, he does have a pretty good time at just 3-camping the grubs early on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not only do you have a decent amount of sustain, but you have a good amount of AoE with your Wind Become Lightning, and it's on a relatively low cooldown. So as long as you can, you know, be there interrupted for about 20 seconds, I would say very easy takings for the Jarvan, and it just makes the game so much easier. I mean, you can see by these lanes how pushed in they are. Grubs would be so helpful for the rest of CCG, and just that extra pressure being put on Zora Esports.
Pressure isn't building up too much for them just yet. Obviously, got Yukino with a pretty sizable lead. It's interesting to see with, you know, in the new season, by the 5-minute point, you expect to see one of the junglers on the Dragon or the Grubs, respectively. Oh my god, Ninja Senpai. Flash condemned. Thinks he's got enough damage on his own to kill off Instinct, who does have to burn heal. But that's both summoners off to support Vayne just for Instinct's heal and interrupted back.
Yeah, and now Instinct potentially forced to stay in the lane here. Doesn't want to miss these minions, but any second now, Trevor could potentially show on the map. You can see he was maybe hovering toward that top side, but smartly pivots down toward that, understands that Instinct has the threat of getting dove here.
Oh, and here comes Trevor. Grapples in, another great condemn from Ninja Senpai, really shutting down what this Camille wants to do. And on the other side, those trades I was talking about in the jungle are going to be coming through. Yukino going to pick up, I believe, uncontested grubs, traded for a dragon,
Whoa.
but holy cow, Crimson so low, but the cooldowns are once again down for Mario's. When becomes lightning, the knockup, the Sinsow damage is too much. Mario's dies once more to Yukino.
Yeah, and Mario's now no teleport available on this Gragas. He's going to miss so much experience.
And oh my god, looks like Sibutsi's having some trouble trying to take this dragon. Oh my god, the Melon's the only reason he lives. The Ignite nearly claims him, and even without their jungler, CCG like their odds. Picking up this dragon unless Scooter can get a miracle steal with the shockwave. He can't. It's picked up by Trevor, and Scooter will fall in the background as well. Just going from bad to worse right now for Zora. And here comes Falcon going forward more. Jarvan flashes forward, but great react flash from Instinct kills off Sabutsi, and now it's just fake carry. Stuck, has to flash over. Smolder getting chased down. Great grapple. Flash comes across from Yukino. They will take no prisoners as CCG just roll through this early game.
And Yukino, such a hyped prospect, has not been around recently, wasn't around for OQ1, but has returned with a vengeance here. 4-0 on the Sinsow. Looking super solid here in their first game. CCG really living up to that third seed that they've been placed in.
Yeah, you could say that, right? I mean, you know, with the day we've seen in the first day of Swiss, you know, you can have that conversation, Quacks, of, oh, you know, this is a 3 versus a 30. Expected result. What we've seen today so far, very far from expected. So it's good to see that one of those proverbial contenders has shown up, at least through the first, you know, early game phase of game 1.
Yeah, and it's, you know, especially reassuring because Open Qualifiers is notorious for a decent amount of upsets. We had a good amount of them in OQ1, especially toward the Swiss stage. We are playing on best of ones, so there is always a chance for a team in the lower half of the bracket to upset a higher seeded team. And while I certainly think Zora have the potential to do that, CCG are just not letting them at any point in this game.
And Quacks, this just gets scarier, right? Because the champions drafted by CCG are just snowball central, especially with this top side, right? And we're seeing it with Crimson.
Whoa.
There goes the Ragnarok, trying to get as many autos down as he can, just running down this Gragas. We do flash to the bot side, where Trevor could be in some danger, and it seems like Marios has to expend that flash, but once again, Quacks, he's flashing to the wrong jungle, so he's just getting cornered, and he's gonna have to fight his way out. Good explosive cast will delay the inevitable a bit longer. Actually forces Falcon to flash over the wall to chase him. Will get the root though with the slows coming across. Falcon will sing it home. Marios dies for a third time.
Yeah, Marios has not been having a good game so far. It looked a little bright there, but great flash there from... Whoa, hold on.
That's some nuts damage, Quacks.
He almost just gets one shot.
And this is rough. The wave's in a decent spot where they can try and flee. Fake Hair is actually just going to stick this back. Oh, he does get it canceled. And Yukino, look at this. He's just taking every resource he wants. He's going to take the Gromp and then try and set up for this dive. Subusi's trying to just run out of there. He will actually get out, but it's at the cost of his AD carry. Fake carry falls. Great Camille comes across. And Yukino is now 6-0 in the first 10 minutes of his OQ debut.
Yeah, has the Titanic Hydra acquired and is using it to his fullest. This is the mark of a good jungler, playing around your item spikes, and this is certainly a big one.
Oh, Falcon, though, gets taken really low. Scooter. That's as simple as Noriana 1v1 comes.
Yeah, great ultimate there from Scooter. Just picks off the overextend there from Flocon. And now, though, Scooter is forced to recall, doesn't have the TP available, and the second round of grubs are spawning. And, you know, I can already tell by Yukino pushing this wave that they want to try and get 6.
But, oh boy, Trevor's just going to get picked as well, so a bit of a stumble here from CCG. Marios certainly feels nice to be on the other end of a kill once more in this game, and sets up easily for a grub match.
I mean, Yukino is in the area. He has a good item advantage, and Crimson is roaming down.
He's here as well. They only get one grub. A lot of ultimates are down. Marios doesn't have that explosive cast. Falcon doing a pretty good job zoning, and This is the old wallet diff, right? Up 4K gold.
Yeah.
Zora Esports know they can't really fight at all right now.
Yeah, I mean, Zora Esports paying a lot of respect there to Yukino, as they should. This is an incredibly fed Jarvan, who is just going to get more and more threatening. I mean, when you have champions like Karma, who are still able to be supportive despite building damage, you can see that lost chapter in the inventory of Flocon, they can still keep their teammates alive. So it is going to be really difficult for this Xin Zhao to go down, especially with the trajectory the game has been going at.
Oh, it looks like they're just targeting Falcon more, though, but it's flashing out his own Cataclysm. It's Boosie, and he just falls right off the gate. Double kill even potentially coming across Ryukino, forces a flash out of Scooter, but this is a 7-0 Xin Zhao. What a debut for Yukino.
Yeah, Yukino coming back with a vengeance, and now he's going to invade this top side. They could potentially look for a dive. Ninja Senpai, you can see, has both sums, but is relatively low on the HP bar, so there is a chance that this Vayne is in a decent amount of danger.
Oh, Mom drops down to clear the wave, but doesn't get the cannon in time, so there's enough to get the stuns, and Fake carries down, and that's how easy it is when you're 7-0 out the gate. Deletes the Vayne, 2 more for CCG.
Trevor there with a little bit of a delayed flash, but still manages to get himself out. Now that is 2 members down. And actually, they're not going to go for the dragon. They're saying we probably have a lot of gold in our pockets. Yeah, Yukino probably has a lot in the wallet, so he's going to spend that, become even stronger, and they're just probably going to blitz straight toward the dragon.
I mean, you can look at the gold difference. He's up
3,000.
Absurd.
That is insane. Yeah.
Both topside ultimates did get traded. Want to point that one out, but it's standard top lane procedure, Quacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's top lane island. What goes on in top lane stays in top lane. And so far, for the past few minutes, it has been a relative island state there for Crimson, who is decently ahead of Marios in terms of gold on this Olaf. About 20 to 30 CS up and has the Ravenous Hydra acquired. So now this is going to give him so much more pushing power and give Yukino just so much more space to work with on that topside jungle to just continue hammering away at this Jarvan, making the game harder for him.
Can it get much harder? I mean, I know he's only died twice, but what an insurmountable lead he's got. Maybe get through the bot side. Good condemn, but Trevor likes the turn. Killer Instinct forward, and Instinct playing by his ultimate name, going right for another kill. Ninja Senpai gets dropped off. Ooh. Oh my god, okay.
Scooter.
Command Shockwave, but he just doesn't have the damage. Look who shows up. The 2 items Xin Zhao picks up the kill. Is caught under turret now without flash. Will Yukino finally fall? No, with the Karma shields and the damage, he's unkillable.
Yeah, under the tower for like 3 to 4 seconds there. If that does not take Yukino down, what will? It's now Yukino 9-0-2 on this Xin Zhao. He's not stopping there, Slayer. He's saying, now we dive topside.
Oh my, he's just a man on the mission. Marios does a good job clearing out the wave and flashing away, but it's just not enough right now with how fed this topside is with CCG. 15-2, they're outpacing the time of the match in kills, and oh boy, Yukino might get another one here. Final hour out for Ninja Senpai, likes his odds up against the Xin Zhao.
Oh, he's getting
one
guided.
big burst could do it though. Wind becomes lightning, he flashes away, and Ninja Senpai is the one to shut down the Titan that's been Yukino.
Yeah, and I mean, good spacing there in particular from Ninja Senpai, but I have a feeling that Yukino isn't too disappointed in that shutdown going over to the Vayne. This is still a support pick that is going to have to be the support, so putting it onto the Vayne is probably the best case scenario here for CCG, who just continue to win out in this game. Honestly, getting that shutdown is kind of just a small win for them at this point, as eyes are on the Herald, but now Yukino has respawned, and all the members of CCG know exactly where the play is going.
Oh, Marios is looking for a pick, does get a big combo down. There's the Shockwave out, but Trevor, he's just surviving it all. Mom's gonna come down and get the kill. It's actually Marios to pick it up, but Instinct has just been free firing on the backside with this Kaisa, and that Karma Mantra Q doing so much damage from Flaucon. There's just too much of a gold deficit right now if you're Zora Esports, and everyone from CCG is mopping up behind it. 3 more, and they're gonna pick up another great Void Seeker from Instinct. Hell, they're gonna make it an ace with 1 more big Mantra Q.
Wow.
CCG are here to stay.
And oh my lord, the karma damage with the Malignant's Flocon manages to pick up 3, and now with the ace, they are going to take the Herald, and it's 20-4 in kills. In CCG, they're showing why they're seed number 3. They're showing that they are upgraded over OQ1, and they are taking this game by storm.
CCG, one of those teams to not settle into that top 4 that everybody coveted so highly from the first OQ. If you can get top 4, you're in a nice spot. If you're not top 4, a lot of people say you got to win the second OQ qualifier to get that big spot. The way CCG are playing, boy, their supports are even getting solo kills out here. Trevor,
wow.
It's just too simple right now, Quacks.
Yeah, and I mean, they put so much pressure onto... Oh, hang on. More pressure's going on Crimson.
Ragnarok, Phase Rush will give Scooter enough space, so he actually will get away thanks to his Keystone, but not going to survive many more of those from Crimson.
Yeah, absolutely is. Scooter did manage to get that kill, but that's really the only thing. Holy moly.
Okay.
The damage on this Karma is crazy.
The Seraph's shields will save him for now, but the Q's are just resetting like crazy with that Malignance as well. Sabutsi's down to go try next. Big shield comes across, but look who's supporting the mid laner as well. Instinct and Yukino pop out of a bush and delete Ninja Senpai for a 5th time. There's a big Cataclysm. They're going to try and burn Flocon. They'll get the kill onto Marios, but it's only one fleeting shutdown, just not enough right now.
Yeah, and with the dragon spawning shortly here, Flocon will be back up for that. So they managed to get the shutdown, but still not able to really make anything of that. Crimson still pushing along happily in that top side on this Olaf. All 3 lanes are still under pressure despite that kill. So CCG, honestly, they're up 12k gold. We are 17 minutes into the game, and it has been CCG domination. The shutdowns just aren't making the difference here for Zora. They are struggling to get any meaningful advantages off of the few kills they've gotten.
The craziest part is, I feel like we haven't even really seen Yukino in the last couple minutes, and he was the one that's 9-1. And he has a Rift Herald too, just to accelerate this game more.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Sundered Sky available. 2 items is really when this Xin Zhao pick starts to eclipse in its power, so we'll start to fall off, but with how just ahead this pick is, I just have no... I don't think there is any falling off here for Yukino at this point on this pick, unless he makes any egregious mistakes. And, I mean, they're at soul point now, so it's really Zora Esports on a timer, just praying to God that CCG find some miracle way to mess this first game up.
And the sleeper build, so to speak, of this entire comp is that you had Instinct on this Kaisa that, you know, is itemizing and rune choice for scaling, and we're about to see it come across because Trevor found himself way too easy to pick. Scooter gets one good shockwave, but he's dead. It might have baited his jungler into dying as well. Flight coming across Ninja Senpai, but it's not going to matter much because Instinct's just going forward. There's no turning back when you're this fed. It's brute forcing through your opponent. Triple kill for Instinct. Yukino may be able to pick up another one. It's a 4th, and this route just keeps flowing for CCG.
And CCG, this train will not stop chugging. They are going crazy in game 1, Slayer. They managed to get yet another ace, and now they'll take this mid turret. They are continuing to knock at the base of Zora Esports, who are getting a warm welcome into their first OQ, and just getting a check of how incredibly diverse the skill is in this gigantic tournament.
You know, games like this is obviously fun with what Twitch stream we're on. Gotta think, you know, Quacks, we're a little bit CCG biased. We are on their Twitch channel. But, you know, it's not the most fun game for you. I mean, what analysis do you really even give here?
I mean, rose-tinted glasses. Maybe Zora managed to find a 5-man Shockwave and a 5-man Cataclysm, but even then, I mean, look at this. Instinct goes legendary. 3 of the members of CCG have a gold bounty, all of which are over 300. So, yeah, we're 20 minutes into the game. They're going straight for the Baron. Really, Zora are running out of options by the second. There weren't even really many options to begin with. So, yeah, I mean, maybe they get like a 5-man crazy setup, but other than that, Zora potentially out of luck here in game 1.
You know you're winning a game of League pretty handily when you can take Baron on spawn. And especially in Season
Oh,
14.
yeah.
That's what CCG just did. Good on Mario's, though, to get a cross-map going, at least get some of those turrets back. It looks like Sabusi wants to try and fight for a kill on the Falcon. Gets Instinct locked in there as well. Mom comes down. Great condemn. Falcon's pin has to flash out, but Instinct flashes away from the Shockwave. Masterful as well. And no kills to come from that great Cataclysm.
And I'm pretty sure Flocon only hit Ninja Senpai with one Q. That was one ult Q onto the Vayne that took about 3/4 of their HP. As Yukino clearly passed his driver's test, is going to slam that into the mid lane turret, and they're just looking for the inhib. 21 minutes in, and it is CCG all over the map.
Look at that Falcon baiting out the explosive cast with low health, knowing his shield will cover the rest of the damage. Might be a bit aggressive here, but with that kind of damage, why not? Yukino just delete Scooter. You blink, you might have missed it. It looks like CCG might actually try for the win here. Got some pretty low health bars, though. Falcon Instinct down some key summoners. With Karma at the helm, do they have enough? Sabusi says no. Takes Falcon out, trying to run out of his own base now. Crimson Company will chase him down and kill him off. But that might have been enough to at least save the game for now and save the base of Zodia Esports.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's phasing CCG at all. They know that, yeah, they lost their mid laner, but they have a Baron empowered wave. They are just looking to get as much damage onto Zora Esports as possible before exiting. As, yeah, now they're just going to leave. They still have the Baron buffs. Wow, Cask.
Yeah, that's a bit of an aggressive back. Crimson's now going to try and min-max his low-health Olaf, and he'll die for that one. Trevor's next in. He's like, I'll take a kill. Drops down the Hextech Ultimatum, but it's a triple over to Marios, who's getting some own revenge. And now Yukino gets to pad his stats, picks up one kill with ease, dashes forward for a second on the Scooter. Good dodge on the flag and drag.
Wow.
What can Yukino do wrong right now? Cataclysm Shockwave comes through just like you were talking about, Quacks, but there's no damage behind it when Yukino is in your face, up to 14 kills. Wow.
Yukino is putting on a clinic in the jungle. He's saying, my death was greatly exaggerated. I mean, his name was Roblox player when he visited Korea, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if now he's tuning up on the second game, looking to play whatever minigame on Roblox he can. He's going crazy.
Ninja Senpai will get another good kill on this Vayne. Yukino now cornered in the red side base, but one dash forward, wind becomes lightning, shocks a kill into Ninja Senpai. And how much more can this pesky Zinzao do? I think he's finally dead. Great body slam, will get the shutdown onto Scooter. But like we mentioned, just fleeting kills to find.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Yukino's gone, so your Zora, they're looking to maybe go for something on this dragon, but CCG, they beat them to it. They have vision. They are here.
Oh yeah, they're just going to kill everybody off they see in front of them. Instinct, Killer Instinct forward. Marios is dead once more, and who needs a jungler when you're up 15,000 gold trying to get Mountain Soul?
And I feel like Instinct in this game has silently been padding his stats as well. We've talked a lot about Yukino, but man, this Kaisa 11, 1, and 3 is going absolutely ham.
Oh, I thought it was about 12, but it's actually the red buff burn from Trevor that will pick up his 4th kill. And it feels like just ceremonial fights left in here. Pick up this Mountain Soul, one Nexus turret left in that mid lane, only a matter of time before this one closes out.
Yep, absolutely. Mountain Soul acquired basically makes Yukino unkillable. The Zinzao already took basically an army of Zora Esports' members respawning on repeat to try and take him down. Now, he has that extra little bit, he has that extra little shield, he has a lot of tankiness. This Zin, along with the healing that he has, is just basically, you're never killing Yukino. He is the definition of Thanos at this point.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty good partner at his side here with those empowered shields coming out from Falcon. Yeah, I mean, Malignant's Karma Q, we've been knowing this for weeks, Quacks, just deletes people if given the opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, Flocon, even on a champion like Karma that isn't exactly known for their 1v9 outplay potential like we've seen from Flocon, especially in OQ1, he has been putting on a clinic on this champion, and an engage is happening.
Okay, Flaucon's already dead. Takes up way too much of the turret. They also kill off Trevor, but those aren't the priority members to worry about. It's Crimson running rampant with Ragnarok, and Yukino looking to grab his potentially 17th kill of the game. Might not grab it. Ninja Senpai, the only one left up, and Instinct says, I'll take my 12th, give me a dozen, and CCG will resoundingly move to 1-0 in Swiss Stage OQ number 2.
Yup. A clean win there from CCG. They put their foot on the gas and they never let up. So that will place them in the 1-0 pool. They will be playing against their next opponent and continuing their run to try and prove themselves in Open Qualifier 2's Swiss stage. And man, what a first game to go off on. If they could carry this momentum into the next game and into the days to come, you're looking at a very scary squad here who has something to prove, and all of their players are playing at their peak, if Game 1 was any indication.
Game 1 certainly indicated a lot of things like you were talking about there, Quacks. And, you know, the one benefit of the fact that Spectator is broken for us here when it comes to Tier 3 and above, or anyone that's not on a TR account, is that we do already know our next matchup. And if you've been paying attention to the circuit at all so far tonight, you know we've already had some crazy upsets, and our next challenger to take on CCG Esports will be the 22-seeded sleeper collegiate team themselves. CU Boulder's own CU Black will be the next matchup. Obviously, we got to get some things prepped on our side to get ready for that matchup. So until then, stick with us through this intermission, and I promise you we'll have at least another banger on your hands tonight from CCG.